If you're letting an AI agent create tickets or GitHub branches by calling APIs directly, that's a problem. It might look fine in a demo, it might even work for a while, but in a real team, things will break eventually. In this video, I'll show you how I actually handle this in production using gram functions. We're going to build a single MCP tool that lets an AI start a feature safely. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to create a linear ticket, create a GitHub feature branch, notify the team in Discord, all through one controlled tool. The AI never touches linear, GitHub, or Discord. It just expresses intent. You'll have a working setup you can actually ship. So what's the risk we are trying to get rid of here? The risk is AI doing writes, whether that's creating tickets, creating branches, kicking off real workflows. Because once those things happen, you can't undo them cleanly. And this is where a lot of AI demos fall apart. They look good on day one, but by week 2, the repo is messy. Tickets are inconsistent, and suddenly, no one trusts automation anymore. The reason is simple. Starting a feature isn't one API call. It's a workflow. There are naming rules, priority rules, base branch rules, permissions, and team coordination. Lots of it. You don't want the AI deciding any of that. So the rule I follow is simple. The AI can say what it wants, but my code decides how that happens. That's the mindset behind gram functions. But you know, a lot of people try to solve this with API wrappers. They'll say, okay, I'll just wrap the GitHub API, or I'll expose a Supabase query and call it a day. That works, but there's huge problems that pop up because real systems need validation, business logic, data transformation, and sometimes multi-step workflows. You don't want the AI deciding which SQL query to run, which table to touch, or which API call is allowed. You want one safe entry point. That's exactly what we're building. Okay, so here's what we're gonna build in this video. One gram function called start feature. The AI calls it once, and behind the scenes, our code creates a linear issue, creates a GitHub branch from main, sends a Discord notification, returns a structured response the AI can use later, no raw APIs exposed. So let me show you how this works. So first, let's scaffold a gram function by running npm create @gram-ai/function. This walks you through a quick setup. We pick gram function, give it a name, and that's basically it. Now pay attention to what this gives us. This creates a full TypeScript environment that's already wired up for MCP. So we don't need to configure servers. The only file we care about right now is this gram.ts. This is where everything lives. Okay, so I'm gonna paste in the code I already wrote. It's quite long, so I'll skim most of it, but I'll show you the important parts. Let's start at the imports. This part's pretty straightforward. Gram is what lets us define a tool. This is the entry point for everything we're building. Without this, there is no MCP tool. Next is Z from Zod. We use this to define the input schema. This is the contract between the AI and our code. It's how we say, these inputs are allowed, these ones are optional, and everything else gets rejected. If the input doesn't match the schema, the tool just doesn't run. And finally, OctoKit. This is GitHub's official SDK. We use this to talk to GitHub from our code, not from the AI. Our TypeScript code handles everything else. Next, we define a tool on this line here, new gram tool start feature. This is the way the AI can start a feature. So there's only one entry point, and that's intentional. Next is the input schema. This is the contract between the AI and our code. It defines what inputs are allowed, what's optional, and what defaults exist. Things like feature title, description, priority, base branch. If the input doesn't match this schema, the tool won't run. This decision prevents hallucinated parameters, invalid inputs, and accidental API misuse. Now, let's look at what actually happens when this runs. Everything from here on is just normal TypeScript code. Step 1, business logic first. The first thing we do is handle business logic. In this case, we create a linear issue. The AI doesn't know how linear works. It doesn't know team IDs or priority numbers. So we map human-friendly input into something linear understands. This is where mistakes usually happen if you skip this layer. If this step fails, we stop. So no partial setup happens. Step 2, controlled side effects. Okay, now we're at the more important part of the code. On GitHub, we won't just create a branch with a random name. We take the linear ticket ID, something like, let's say, lin-123. We'll take that and we bake it directly into the GitHub branch name. So you end up with something like feature/lin-123-add-dark mode or something similar. This is the orchestration layer. Linear and GitHub are now linked by code. An AI would just guess a name. So we prevent that by doing this step 3, enrichment and notification. Once the ticket and branch exist, we send a Discord message on a specified Discord server. This step is enrichment that makes it that much more useful for us. Step 4, returning a structured result. Finally, we return a structured response. Not just success or something like that. We return metadata workflow status and copy-paste commands. Same shape every time. This is what makes the tool usable by an AI agent long term, since the model doesn't have to guess by relying on structure. Once this is done, deployment is simple. We run npm run build, and we wait for it to build. Then after that's done, let's do npm run push. Okay, now from here, we're going to go to our Gram dashboard here. First, let's go ahead and make a new tool set. I'll call it Eric's tool. I'll add a new tool, and we'll add our start feature tool. Now let's install this into Claude. We'll go to MCP, we'll press on install here. Let's go with Claude Desktop, and it'll install a MCPB file. We'll now go to Claude Desktop, go to settings down here, extensions, advanced settings, and then install our MCPB file. Now we can go to Claude, ask it to, for example, make me a new high priority feature authentication, and then press enter. Now Claude will make a request. Now let's take a look. First, on Discord, our message has been sent. On Linear, our ticket had been made, and then on GitHub, a branch has been made. All of this from just one tool on Gram. So that's the full pattern. Instead of letting an AI talk directly to your database, your APIs, or your workflow tools, you define a narrow tool, put all the logic in TypeScript, and return a clean result. This is the core idea behind the Gram Functions Cookbook. If you want to build tools like this, check out the documentation here. It'll walk you through to setting up and building your Gram functions, starting from scaffolding, writing tools, and deploying straight to Gram. It also has a small section here defining the differences between a function and an MCP server. So if you're confused about that, you can read up on it here. There's also a guide on how to do local development. It's used more for testing and development purposes, so if you're already a seasoned developer, you'll find huge value in this. But that's about it for now. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.